So welcome back to the second video of the series, Programming by Reverse Engineering Games. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to hack your first game. We have a lot of content to cover in this video, so let's get started. Before that, I'd like to say this is for educational purposes only and I'm not responsible for anything illegal you do. Okay, so the topics I'll be covering will be what you will learn through this video. Then I'll go over the hexadecimal number system. After that, I'll talk about how games work under the hood. Then at the end, I'll show you how to do it. So by the end of this video, you understand the hexadecimal number system, how games work, how to use cheat engine, how to find the values you want and set the values you want. And you should get something like in the photo right there. So before looking at the hexadecimal number system, let's look at the decimal number system. Here we have numbers that we're all familiar with. Now let's see how they compare with the Roman numerals. I think most of us have seen Roman numerals before. For number 1 we get I, and then for 5 we get V, and then 9 is IX, and so on. The point is, these are the same numbers, just written in a different way. This is the same for hexadecimal numbers. We represent hexadecimal with the 0x before the number to say it's hexadecimal and not regular decimal. Then we see we have 0x1 that goes with decimal 1, and it's like that all the way until 9. But once we reach decimal 10, we see that we have an A. We begin to use letters, sort of like the Roman numerals. If we add 1 to A, we get B, then C, and so on all the way until F. However, once we reach F, instead of continuing with the alphabet, we now carry the 1 and we get 0x10, and we're back to where we started. That's mostly it for the hexadecimal number system. It's just another way of representing numbers. This number system is used a lot when dealing with computers, so you just have to get used to seeing them. If you want to play around with the numbers, the Windows calculator has a programmer mode where you can use hexadecimal numbers. Now let's look at how games work. Everybody has RAM or memory sticks in their computer. Maybe you have 2 sticks of 4 gigs. Now let's imagine they make this one long memory stick of 8 gigabytes. This stick of memory now gets broken up into chunks of memory. When a game runs, it has to be loaded into memory. 2 of the things it loads is your health and ammo. So when you launch the game goes and asks the operating system for some memory so it can run. The operating system looks and see if some memory is free and tells the game they can have that chunk, because we see the first block is free, so the game sets up there. Now when another program runs, it does the same thing. It'll ask the operating system for some memory. The operating system looks and sees the second block is free and gives it to Steam so it can set up. This is important because each program is separate from each other. So meaning if our house changes in the game, it won't accidentally also change the credits in our Steam account. And buying 10,000 credits won't accidentally set our house to 10,000. So if we want to look something in the game, we have to look into the game's memory. So let's zoom into the block of memory. So we see the game's memory is also broken up into blocks of memory. Each one of these blocks has a number assigned to it. You could think of it as if this were a street that had houses going all the way down. You would have house number 1, then 2, and so on. This would be its street address, but we're not dealing with the street, we're dealing with memory. So this is called its address in memory, or simply memory address. For each 32-bit program, the memory address ranges from 0 all the way to 0xFFs, all those Fs that you see on the screen. So say the game address 10,000 holds your house and 10,004 holds your ammo. The content in 10,000 we see is 100. So when the game goes to check our house, it goes to the address 10,000 and see what it's holding. It gets that number and now that's our game house. If we were to find that 10,000 holds our house, we can go to that address and change what it holds. We could change the 100 into 9999, I guess, or whatever we choose. Now when the game goes to check address 10,000 for our house, it gets what's inside, which is now 9999. So now our house is 9999. So let's see how we can do this with Cheat Engine. If we are to zoom back out to where all the programs are running in our RAM, we can see that the game as well as other desktop apps are running. Cheat Engine will look at all the programs running and you choose which memory you want to look into. So you will select the game to look into the game's memory. Now to find our address 10,000 that holds our health, we have to tell Cheat Engine to scan for the value 100 because that's our current health. Cheat Engine will scan all the memory addresses from 0 to all those F's that I showed before. Then Cheat Engine will show you all the addresses that have that value 100. Usually it's a lot. This could be maybe other enemies' health or stuff that has to do with the game, but one of them is our health. So to find the correct one, we take damage. Now our health is at 90 and we tell Cheat Engine to search for 90, and Cheat Engine will search from the list that it has scanned that held 100 to see which one now changed to 90, and we can see that just 0x10,000 holds 90, and now we have the memory address that holds our health value. From here we could change it. So now let's see how it looks in practice. Okay, so here I just have a game open. I can't pronounce the name of the game, but I'll leave it in the description if you guys want to download it. It's a small game and there's no anti-cheat or anything trying to stop you, so it's good to practice on and learn the basics on it. So yeah, but you could practice on your own game if you want. So from here we're just gonna open up Cheat Engine. So just launch it, and then we'll see this little glowing icon in the top left. From here you just click on it and it will give you the programs that are running on the computer, and we want to look into the game's memory. So we're going to select the game and we're going to hit open, and this is because I already have a table that I made before, so I'm going to hit no, but you guys shouldn't have this. And we see that everything is 0. We don't have nothing in here and it's blank, so that's because we haven't scanned for anything or saved anything. So we could start scanning for it right now. We see we have 40 bullets, and this is where we're gonna do our scanning in. So we could type in 40 and our value, and we could do a first scan because it's gonna be our first scan. And we see we have 7,400 addresses. So all these addresses in the memory, in the game's memory, have the value of 40. But you see some of them will be moving, and our ammo isn't moving. So we know that's not our ammo. So we could just do another next scan, which will update these addresses. And we see we drop down to 4,000. So if we shoot a couple bullets, we have 38. So we could type in 38 and then do a next scan again. And we see now we only have 2 addresses. So we could bring both of them down into our saved subpanel. So you could double click on it, or you can select it and then do the red arrow. And we have little different categories here. We have a description, address, type, value, and active. So I'll start with the description and I'll do active last. So description, you can name the address what it is. So if you double click on it, you can see you could now change the name of it. So we could name this maybe revolver ammo 1, and we can name the other one maybe. And this is useful when you have a lot of addresses, so you can see what you're looking at instead of just the address. You get like a text behind it, and then you get the address in memory of where it's at. So you see this is in hexadecimal, we had went over, and then the type 4 bytes. You don't have to worry about this too much. I'll explain it a little bit later when we get to the programming, but here we have the value of what it is, and if you double click on the value, you would be able to change it. So if I put it to 10, we see that in our game it also updated to 10. So that means this is our ammo value. So we could delete this one, and you could just press the delete on your keyboard and it should delete it. And then we could name this revolver ammo. We could update the name of it. So now if we shoot, you see how it works. And if we change the value to 10, it'll go back to 10. So now we can set our ammo to whatever we want. But the last category that I didn't go over was the active. And we see if I click on the active button, what it does is it'll keep on writing 10 the value of 10 into the address. So now if I shoot, you see how it goes down, but cheat engine, I was writing 10 over and over into it. So now we have infinite ammo like that. And the process is the same for any other value. You just keep on searching for it and update the values until you find the right one. And that's going to be your assignment until my next video comes out. Try to find the health value, the armor value, and another gun's value. And I set it to 999 like how I had in the photo in the intro. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time.